Thank you, students. Today I discuss about the refraction of light through the prism. Before going to that discussion, first you have to know what is prism. Prism is a refractive medium. That means the light gets refracted through that prism, and it is bounded by three rectangular and two triangular surfaces. That means prism is bounded by the five surfaces. Out of those five surfaces, three are rectangular and two are triangular surfaces. Out of these three rectangular surfaces, two of them are refracting surface, and the angle between these two refracting surfaces of the prism is known as angle of prism. Generally it is denoted by capital letter A. When we draw the prism, we draw in triangular shape, but it is not the shape of the prism, it is the principal section of the prism. The principal section of the prism is a triangular in shape. Here we see this is the principal axis of the principal section of the prism, and it is the triangular in shape, where AB and AC, these two surfaces are the refracting surfaces, and BC is the base of the prism, and angle A, this angle is the angle of prism. Now the another topic is the monochromatic light and the composite light. Monochromatic light means the single frequency or single colored light is known as the monochromatic light. A composite light, the light having more than one frequency or one color, is known as the composite light. The white light is an example of a composite light. Now, when light travels through the prism, then it suffers two-time refraction. Light suffers two-time refraction when it passes through the prism. First one, when it enters to the prism. Second, when it emerges from the prism. Now first, when it enters to the prism. Here the OP is the incident ray. When it enters to the prism, then the light refracts from air to glass. Generally prism is made by glass. That means the light refracts from the rarer medium to the denser medium. So it refracts towards the normal. That means OP is the incident ray and it is the normal. So and it is the original path of the incident ray. So the light ray bends towards the normal. Here the angle of incident is I and angle of refraction is R1. Generally it is I is the greater and R1 is the smaller. Now the angle of deviation for this refraction is the delta 1, and so delta 1 will be I minus R1. Now this refracted ray PQ through the prism strikes the second refractive surface AC, and from here it emerges from the prism. In that case, here the light travels from the glass to air, that means denser medium to rarer medium. Then the light goes away from the normal. It is the normal, and it is the incident ray. It goes away from the normal. This is a normal, away from the normal. So RS is the refracting medium. Refracting ray. Now in the first case, when it enters, OP is the incident ray and PR is the refracting ray. But in case of a second refraction, PR acts as an incident ray and RS is the refracting ray. Here at point R2 is the angle of incident, angle E is the angle of refraction. Here is the E is the greater than R2 and D2 is the angle of deviation. So D2 will be E minus R2. Now if you think overall, then OP is the incident ray, PR is the refracting ray and RS is the emergent ray. And angle I is the angle of incident, angle E is the angle of emergence. And delta 1 and delta 2 are the deviation in the first case and the second case respectively. And this delta is the total angle of deviation or net angle of deviation for the prism, and it is delta is equal to del 1 plus del 2. Now if you observe carefully, then for every refraction, after every refraction, refracted ray bends towards the base of the prism. Here in this is the incident ray, it bends towards the prism, base of the prism. This is the incident ray and this is the refracted ray. So after refraction, the refracted ray bends towards the base of the prism. So when the light refracted through the prism, then all time it refracted towards the base of the prism. How we find out the angle of deviation, that is mean delta, which is delta 1 plus delta 2, we discuss at the next video. Thank you.